Good evening and welcome to another great program of the Study Havamal with Ríðar Okui. Yeah, that just happened. So anyway, hi guys, how you doing? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm feeling pretty good tonight. Tonight we're going to go through the Havamal, and we're using the Study Havamal from the Hunin and Munin Publishing Company. Yes, I just butchered everything in 3 seconds. That was great.
And the James Chisholm translation 2009. I, of course, am Nelson Young, the elder vice president. And
Right.
this is?
I'm Don McFarland, the Hearthman, who just basically sits here and cribbitses.
And it's definitely not the Chris Holmes version.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Nope.
Okay.
James
Or the John Holmes
Right.
or anybody.
So if anyone that watched the last video, that was hilarious, and yeah, and he nodded, so we're going with it. So
Sometimes I just don't know what else to do.
it's cool. So let me see. I'll start it off.
Okay.
A coward believes he will ever live if he keeps him safe from strife, but old age leaves him not long in peace, though spears may spare his life. Very true.
Yep. A cowardly man thinks he will ever live if warfare he avoids, but old age will give him no peace, though spears may spare him.
The unwise man thinks he will live forever by avoiding battle, but old age will give him no rest, although he be spared from spears.
Okay. Ooh, I guess that's what Phyllis. Sorry. The sluggard believes he shall live forever if he fights, if the fight he faces not. But age shall not grant him the gift of peace, though spears may spare his life.
And you know the perfect metaphor for that is in 300, the movie. The guy, may you live forever, you cowardly scum. Right there at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't say that last part, but he was thinking it.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the first thing is they all have spears,
Right.
as that was the most common weapon on the battlefield for the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was made from the least amount of metal, so therefore it was one of the cheaper ones, or it could just be fire hard and pointy stick.
Right.
So,
And you could just throw it.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah.
I guess another way of saying this is that you might as well go out with a bang than living a life of shame,
Oh, yeah.
and wondering what might have been.
So we have a question from the audience. Yes, or a statement.
If you died of old age versus in battle, where would you go?
So if you died of old age instead of in battle, where would you go? This is a highly hot
Debate.
topic that goes from everywhere.
Button?
So-
Oh, look.
Yes, that was the button. Thank you for pushing the button. Okay, so if you were a warrior and you were chosen by the Valkyrie, that doesn't mean just because you died in battle, you went to Valhalla. You had to also be chosen as a brave man who's someone who died bravely in battle.
Sure.
You would go to Valhalla, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there were other couple steps in there that could also happen because Freya got her first pick.
Mm-hmm.
First thing.
And there's speculation on that from a lot of different directions.
I don't know why. It's pretty straightforward to lore.
Yeah, but there's still speculation from a lot of directions.
Hmm.
So what is your speculation from the lore?
So the lore is pretty much straightforward. Freya gets first choice, and those that die in battle have the chance to go to Valhalla. It doesn't mean that they'll actually be given a place of honor. It means that they have a chance.
Correct.
They still are judged worthy once they arrive.
Mm.
And that's a part that most people either A, don't understand, or B, leave out. Because it doesn't fit in today's every battle is worthy. No, not really.
Participation award.
Right. We don't get a participation award.
Right.
What
Just
happens
'cause-
if you're not worthy?
If you're not worthy, when you go in front of Odin and you are brought by the Valkyrie, if you are not worthy to join the Einherjar, he feeds you to his wolves as offering.
Yes.
That's pretty harsh.
So,
I mean, you know.
think about this next time you wear a ball newt that I proudly wear, because I'm okay with it.
Right. So here's the deal: if you die in battle, you get Freya has to get her first pick, right?
Sure.
And my theory on that, and it could be wrong or right, but is she is bringing those who are worthy to go with their loved ones who are worthy, because she's the maiden who was left,
But
she's bringing those warriors who died in battle who are worthy of spending eternity with the woman or man that they loved.
sure, loved ones, shall we say?
Right.
Um,
Now, I could be fucking wrong.
Well, no. The only point of this that we always forget, that most people always forget, is each one of the gods has their own hall.
Yes.
The only one who does not is Tyr, of course, as he shares the hall with Odin and Valhall, because he was once king.
Mhm.
So as the law speaker and the one who sits in Valhall, it makes sense that they would have a law speaker, which was the tradition even during the Viking Age. There would be a law speaker who would be there whenever the Jarl King, insert name, would be standing on the platform.
Which brings up even more debatable topics.
Absolutely.
Because there are there are a lot of gods of judgment of different things.
Yes,
Because
Vor,
Vor,
Forseti that came
Forseti.
afterward, Tyr, Skadi sometimes is called as a judge, even though I disagree and she's more vengeance. But
yeah, why would you?
people, whatever.
We'll talk later. I want to hear this one because I've never heard of that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's different.
Well, I'm glad to hear about all of these different possibilities because I was sitting here thinking somebody's missing. Somebody needs to adjudicate these odd points. For example, what if you were so good as a warrior, even until the day before you died, nobody was good enough to take you out?
Well,
And so, you know, maybe you didn't
Okay.
die, but still, you know,
So the story of Garm.
okay.
So there was a magical sword
Uh-huh.
that I think it was the Volksons.
yes, a
Um,
green blade.
a green blade that Odin came into the hall and stuck into something. What was it? It was
Yes,
a tree.
okay.
The tree
that
that
was
held up
in
the
the
roof
middle
of the
of
hall.
Somebody
that
had a
was
rule.
holding up the roof of the hall.
Yes.
So came in, stuck this in there, and he said, "Whoever pulls this out, this is your sword."
Yep.
So the king came up and he couldn't pull it out. He was pissed off.
Yeah.
Couple of the other people came in, then they pulled it out, and they couldn't do it, and they were pissed off too.
Mhm.
And then the youngest person in the hall, who was Volkston, came up, and he pulled the sword off, and that pissed off everybody because then he had the sword.
Mhm.
So they tried to bribe it from him, right?
Yeah.
They were like, you know, we should give you this, and he's like, well, no, it's mine.
Mhm.
This many pieces of
But-
silver, this fine necklace, yada
Right.
yada.
In the end, basically, he kind of went, but it's mine. I don't want to give it up.
That's right.
And I did that with
Well-
my homework once in school. But anyway,
It was also said to smite through iron,
Yes.
right.
and that's why it was magical.
Mhm.
Well, if you're smart and understand metallurgy, bronze
Mhm.
is stronger than iron, and when it's left in the ground, it doesn't hold an edge as good as iron,
Right.
but it is sturdier than iron.
Hmm.
And when rusted, it does turn green.
Oh,
So it
Yeah,
makes sense
yeah.
to me that it would be a bronze sword because they came before iron, an aged sword.
Hmm.
So, yes, it's lore. Yes, the stories are embellished, but there is some truth in between.
Okay.
okay, cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Yes.
time down the road. I'm not going to go through the whole story because that's not what we're doing here right now.
Right.
At one point, he goes into battle with this sword,
Mhm.
and Odin going, well, this is the guy I wanted as one of my generals.
Mhm.
Hands his spear to the opposing army after, right.
Oh.
And that is the only thing that could break Garm, the sword, the magical sword. And the guy dies.
Okay.
And then Odin goes over, takes his spear, and arranges for the other king to die later on.
Oh.
But
Right.
he wasn't always a nice guy. He made it, but part of Valhall was to get those warriors, those generals, those leaders, those men of bold and braveness.
Mm.
So then, but there's more.
Ah,
Okay,
but wait,
but wait, there's more.
tell us what we've
So
done.
there's also the act that if you are a follower, a priest, someone who truly follows one god or another, they may or may not choose you for their hall.
Really?
Oh yes.
Right.
Oh.
Even if you're a priest of Frey, it doesn't mean that you're going to be in his hall.
Right.
Oh.
It just means
Okay.
you do his work
Right.
in life and in death. Who knows?
Right.
So it's not exactly a perk.
No.
Right.
Interesting.
Well, it could be because then at least he's like, oh, there's that dude again. I like this guy.
Okay.
Or really, man, will you leave me alone for 5 minutes while I go to the
Well,
bathroom?
and a good example of that are the people who like you that you don't necessarily like all the time.
Right.
We all know those people who are kind of clingy and they hang around and you do what you can, but ultimately you're gonna help them.
Yeah.
But they're not the person who we have work friends, for instance. Work friends that don't mesh with your real friends, and that's just the way it is. At work you're cool, but at home you're not. It's much the same way.
I know a lot of those.
Yes.
Okay. And then there's more.
What have I done?
Okay.
So
So
we're going down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's gonna happen now. So then there's hell.
Yes.
Yes.
The god is, the goddess and the land.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so
Helheim, if you will.
Helheim. So I'm not going to say whether one was named after the other or vice versa or whatever because it's a moot point, and honestly,
It doesn't matter.
yeah,
It
it
doesn't
is what it is.
Hmm.
Just take it for.
Hmm.
I really hate to say this, but sometimes you just got to take it as it is and go with faith and go with whatever it is.
Yeah.
So there's Helheim, right?
Yeah.
Hell is not the Christian hell.
No.
So there are some very unpleasant areas.
The land. Yeah.
Right. So there's, how can I say this? There's a few not so very nice areas. There's a place for oath breakers,
Yeah.
murderers, and thieves.
Yep.
Sure.
Who the laws were a little bit different back then.
Hmm.
So that's a whole other topic, and we're not going to go there.
Nope.
But there's a spot for them of which you get drug over the what is it? The sea of broken spear and sword tips.
Ew.
Kind of think of it like a broken glass and hot coals and that kind of thing. All the things that are not very nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you either get thrown into the river and you're washed away forever, or there's also the thing, people that say there's an island over there that's surrounded by the poisonous river that once you get put on there, you're there. And basically it's kind of a different pain, torture, punishment, kill each other all day and night.
But there is the people who did absolutely nothing wrong. They lived a good life as far as their community is concerned, because let's not forget that if you weren't part of their community, it wasn't murder, it was like killing a squirrel, no one cared.
Right.
So if you killed a member of your community, then that was kind of a big deal. But if you didn't, and if you were good to your community and did, lived up to your responsibilities as best you could and so on, and you died of old age, you could very well be reincarnated into your own family line, which is why blood feuds were so terrible.
But there's also the Summerlands, which are in hell. So in hell you have both a hell version of it, I guess, for the bad people, a Elysian Fields, heaven type area, because children who died of natural childbirth, those who were deformed, those who were orphans, who died, those who died of old age, who were great people, they would go to the Summerlands.
The innocent and infirm.
Right, the innocent, the infirm. So there's a place for them down there that's not that bad. It's in fact supposed to be great. It's supposed to be peaceful, and in fact, Hela herself is said to guard that area particularly with all of
Right.
her vengeance.
Right.
Well,
Which
they're the most innocent and vulnerable.
Not only that, but
Wow.
Hela herself was somewhat disfigured.
Oh,
If you think about it, she was half dead and half alive, or she appeared that way.
right.
Some people like to draw her as half a skeleton and half a person,
She was
But-
cast out based upon her father's.
Right. but she was cast
Right.
out. She was orphaned. She was alone. She was brought before Odin and put into hell to rule it.
Hmm.
So she didn't have it easy.
hmm.
So those people, the
Also,
orphans,
he needed a replacement for his throne then.
right,
That
and
may be.
the orphans, those people, she would guard them fiercely
You know,
because she was
Take
one
care
of
of the
them.
summer home
Right, right.
Right.
She could,
Um,
she
in
could
the
understand.
Summerland.
Right.
Poetry.
Balder ended up down there.
Uh-huh.
A few of the gods ended up down there.
Sure.
Balder and Nana.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
So they were given high seats down there. They sat at her table with her. And while they describe Hell's Hall very specifically,
Yes. Her table called famine.
yes.
Oh.
But
Oh yes.
Not exactly a fun time, was it?
Well, it just means that food may or may not be scarce depending whether or not you were full,
mhm,
you know, worthy of sitting at it.
it was
you
a
know.
way of death.
You know, she did not have to. Basically, it was a way of them saying that she did not have to be hospitable like the other gods prescribed to be. You
Yeah.
know, Odin has his boar that is continuously slaughtered.
Uh-huh.
Thor has his goats that can be killed and then risen from the dead the
Uh-huh.
next day.
Uh-huh.
These are the things. I mean, even Freya's hall is said to be hospitable.
Uh-huh.
You know, all of the gods are except for her, because should you not be worthy of sitting with her,
Mhm.
it will be famine for you. It
Right.
will be a bear table.
Mhm.
Just desserts. No?
Right.
Exactly.
Yes. And if you look at the way that her hall is named, the things in her hall,
Yes.
they're all ways that you can pass away.
Ah,
Oh yes.
wow.
Yes. There
So
are
It
ways.
is the hall of the dead. It is the way that they die. They can come there that way.
Wow.
Right. And so when we look at old age, also remember the story of Thor wrestling with old age
Right.
Oh.
and the fact that he could not beat her, and even he will succumb to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Old age brings down every living thing. We all know this.
Yes.
Eventually, everything dies. It
Yes.
is a cycle. It is the way of things.
Yes.
It's kind of like that, I guess it's Rumi quote, and I could be wrong on that, you know, you want to die having truly lived.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Die having truly lived.
Yep.
So, okay, we got really way off topic for a long time.
Not really.
there.
But that was really
But,
informative.
no, it was. Um,
Really, we had to kind of go into it because of the whole old age give him no rest sort of thing. And people today think, oh well, you know, if I fight every day with my, I don't know, PTSD for instance, or if my bipolar
Anxiety.
or anxiety or whatever your issue is, that's worthy of me getting into Valhalla,
okay,
and not necessarily so.
hold on.
Sure.
I'm going to phrase that right now. All right, for those of you on camera, I had drill this weekend. I am in a military uniform. In a couple of months, I will no longer be in the military.
Sure.
I'm not deploying. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm not getting in a battle soon.
Sure.
I am not going to Valhalla
No.
unless there's some special loophole that Odin decides he wants me up there. But I don't expect to go because I won't be dying in battle.
Yes.
Will I fight for my people here with other things? Am I promoting the faith? Am I promoting the wisdom, the
Of course.
studying, and everything else? Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go to Valhalla and be Einherjar at this point.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly.
And I accept that. I'm cool with that.
No,
It's
but
because the height requirement, right?
And because I'm short, yeah.
well, here's
You
the
had
thing.
to go there.
She does.
Here's the thing, and this is the truth of the matter. We all have our own way of looking at our faith. And this is not an organized religion, and there is no absolute. We know for a fact. Blah blah blah. There isn't.
Right.
So feel free to believe however you want. However, the lore is pretty cut and dry on this subject in particular,
Hmm.
We might get a lot of comments on this video.
and
for
that's
a change.
absolutely
I
fine.
like it.
Please comment. Please disagree if you do. I don't care. The point of the matter is we will read them, we will respect your ideals and the way in which you view it, as we respect each other's
Right.
viewpoints. It's much the same thing.
I think it's very important to notate that although they may be battles with anxiety,
Sure.
PTSD, all those kinds of things, they were very specific about what goes into Valhalla.
Right. They were very specific about what goes on.
Right.
So that doesn't mean that you're not worthy of greatness. You're not worthy of many other different things.
Right.
As you said, every god and goddess has their own digs, their own,
Right.
plat, their
Absolutely.
own place. So, sky's the limit.
Right.
Kind of deal.
So what she said, I think you probably heard her that time, but I'm going to summarize, is that the lore is pretty cut and dry. I mean, it's in physical battle.
Yes.
You do battle with PTSD. You do battle with social concepts, anxiety, other things. You may have battle with your own inner demons, but that's what they are. They really
Any
are.
physical or mental disability.
Physical, mental
battle.
disabilities are very much battles for you.
Challenges.
They're
that you
challenges
overcome.
through society, through yourself, through family, through your entire community, on whether they're going to lift you up or drop you down, and
Yes.
some may do both at the same time.
Right.
But that is a personal, internal thing. That's
Yes.
shadow work for you to do for yourself, not
Yes.
a physical battle that you have to go to.
I mean, so I personally have a Valnut tattooed over my heart because I'm committed to my very specific path.
Yes.
However, that does not mean I shall go to Valhalla.
Right.
It means that's what I hope for, but it doesn't mean I will. So for people who think, oh, well, you wear the symbol, you do this, so you think you're worthy, not necessarily. Let's get that straight right now.
Yeah.
They may have other plans for me. I don't know. This is the path in which I have chosen and been chosen for in this time. That doesn't mean upon my death that is where I will go.
Right.
So even I am very clear and very frank with myself.
Right.
So we need to be honest of that. And secondly, I am married and I do have children, and they kind of want me around for a little while longer. So,
Well, we got a lot of work to do. So.
Incarnate.
So just be honest with yourself and with each other, and kind of understand what it is that you're asking and where you fit.
Right. And honestly, that all fits in here because
Yes.
the coward who doesn't go to battle, right? If you know you're a coward and that's why you did not go to battle, right? If you were called, like, okay, say, we live in Washington, by the way. So, so if, what was the name of the movie?
Which one?
Where everybody came over here. It was a great remake.
Pilgrims?
You're talking about the Oregon Trail.
No.
How long are you
Modern
talking?
Day.
Everyone
Modern
came
Day?
over here. That doesn't.
I don't know.
I'll remember it at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
With the wolves.
Dances with Wolves?
No.
No.
Trying to help.
Damn it. Anyway, so if Washington were attacked tomorrow
Sure.
and we went out to defend our people, right?
Yes.
And you were the guy who went, nope, I'm hiding in the corner. They can do whatever they want out there. I'll see who wins.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you knew that's why you did it.
Uh-huh.
You deserve no rest.
Your friends, your neighbors died defending what you decided to not do.
Yes.
You may be plagued with that in your mind for the rest of your life.
Yep.
There is survivor's guilt.
Yes.
There's also survivor's guilt from
Sure.
being injured and not being able to go, though.
Yeah.
There's
So-
a very different.
right.
That's
So
very
this
different.
Yeah, but this is actually specific to the cowardly man, the sluggard, who wants to get away from the fight so that he can live. He doesn't care about the rest of them. He's going to go live himself.
Well, General Patton also stated something very similar. You know, when your grandson is sitting on your knee
Oh.
and you have to explain what you did in the Great World War II,
Mhm.
you won't have to tell him I shoveled shit in Louisiana.
Right.
Which is very true. It was actually Des Moines. So.
Right. Well,
Uh,
it just means that you won't have to lie to him to try to over embellish what it was you were
Right.
doing,
right.
and we're too good to go off to battle.
Oh, actually, that's a good point too. So back when this was written, or when the words were formed,
Right.
people would raid every. They would raid each other, not
happened.
just other places.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you were the guy who would not go up and stand up for your community,
Mm-hmm.
you would have to tell that to your children. Oh yeah,
Yes.
I heard Uncle Bob, or well, nobody was named Bob back then.
But you get the point.
Right. So this one's kind of
What
cut
about
and
Uncle
dry.
Bob?
What about Uncle Bob? Uncle
Yeah.
Bob died, but you weren't there to help him. How did Uncle Bob die, Dad? Like, well, you know, he went off to fight so and so, but even though I've got all you kids, because people bred a lot back then.
Or I was out fishing.
Right. I was out fishing when that fight went on.
Mm.
Right. Yeah. Mom says that you were hiding when she was fishing.
Mom says he told everybody, no, didn't want to go.
Right.
Well, this actually could be a metaphor for if you avoid the hard parts and only do the soft, chewy ones. Can you ever have been said to live at all?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
A man without scars does not live.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Whether they be mental or physical. Let's get that straight. Right.
Yeah.
There are many types of scars.
Yes, there are.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I think we've chewed the fat on this one.
A lot.
We have chewed the
Um,
carpet down to the wood. Yeah.
So
But
we
it's been
went
a
this
good
way,
thing,
we
yes.
went this way, we came up back this way.
We went down under.
Okay,
and over.
so we're gonna close this one out.
Yes.
So seriously, we really want your opinion on
Yes.
this.
Tell us why
Yes.
you disagree and how.
Right.
Or if you agree, why.
All of the things.
Right, just say what you think. We're good with that.
Yes.
We'll leave it.
Mhm.
Okay. I will say this: do not fight amongst each other when you make comments, because
Be respectful.
Right. Yeah,
Be
just
respectful.
be respectful of each other.
Mhm.
And we'll answer.
Yes. Yes, we will.
So,
Because now my email's working.
from Ríðar Oak Wyrd and the lovely state of Washington, where the sun still hasn't come out yet.
Dating
Thanks
is boring.
and good night.